Well, we may be back to a 4-2-3-1, but this tactic claims that you can get 4 to 5 goals a game. Yeah, we're going to take a look. This one is called the BOMBOLOMANIA 4-2-3-1. It is a version 1 from November 2026. The description basically says, tactics based on suffocating pressing, lots of short and very high scoring phase, often 4 to 5 goals are scored. Short passes and aggressive tackling. The tactic prefers players with high values in aggression, speed, and acceleration, but also works well normally. Well, we're going to take a look at it with our 3 teams in a holiday sim with Manchester City and Crystal Palace in the Premier League and our championship side of Derby County. So let's just dive straight in and see how this worked. Well, taking a look at the Premier League, unfortunately, I'm going to say so far so average. Man City, only 68 goals is really low for them, but 81 points, second place, not bad. They are somewhat far off of Arsenal in first, though. Crystal Palace in seventh, 59, 63 goals is not bad, but yeah, it definitely needs to pick up a bit. Well, diving into Manchester City's fixture schedule, they actually did fairly well. We're going to have to go all the way down to the bottom. Champions League, they get to the final but lose out at the last step in the final to Real Madrid in penalties 1-1. FA Cup, they got to the final and beat Crystal Palace 4-1 to win that trophy. And they get to the EFL Cup final against Liverpool and lose 1-2. So they come away with the FA Cup trophy, nothing else, but everything else is runners-up. I would still call that pretty good. Could have done better, but still pretty good. Senior squad, they've got some green in there, which is nice to see. Goals, 51 for Erling Haaland, Marmoush with 12, as does Phil Foden. Assists, 13 for Foden, Cherky with 12, as does Doku and Bernardo Silva. And average rating 7.63 for Erling Haaland. He's pretty much always going to be up top, isn't he? Switching it up to Crystal Palace in their fixture schedule, you can see against Liverpool in the FA Community Shield, they win 2-0. Very nicely done. EFL Cup, you get to Nottingham Forest and lose 1-2, but everything else. Conference League, yeah, you win in penalties against Rapid Vienna. FA Cup, we already saw they lose in the final, 4-1 to Man City. So, 2 trophies, another runners-up. This is working to a degree. And senior players look very nice in the green for Crystal Palace. Goals-wise, 33 for Mateta and Nketiah with 20, assists 20 for Uche, and then Pino with 18, and average rating, well, Uche gets a 7.34. Data Hub, Man City, 16 clean sheets, tackling percentage almost 77, really nicely done, performing much better than average, of course. Attacking-wise, you're covering so many different bases, 1.8 non-penalty XG per 90, 21 shots, 24 dribbles, 13.8 fouls per game, 90% passing percentage. It's really nice. Crystal Palace not having quite as good of a time, but still not too bad. Fouls per game is up there. Possession 1 is up there. 1.6 non-penalty XG per game. 15 shots, 1.7 goals. So, I mean, dribbling's up there. It's not quite as good as Manchester City, but it's still not too bad. Switching up to the Premier League stats, you can see most yellow cards for Crystal Palace with 59. Most shots for with 803. Geez, few shots against, most dribbles made, best pass completion all the way up there as well. And most tackles won. Crystal Palace with 790. Erling Haaland gets a 7.51 highest average rating. Most goals with 31. Not bad at all. And then most shots, of course, with 160. Dang. But diving into the Premier League stats a little bit more, average possession, Man City with 51%, Crystal Palace with 48. And then points per game, Man City with 2.13, Crystal Palace with 1.55. On the attacking side, goals 68 for Man City, 63 for Crystal Palace, and goals per game 1.79 for Man City, Crystal Palace with 1.66. Shots for 803 for Man City. We did see Crystal Palace with 588 in third. Shots on target, 327 for Man City, Crystal Palace with 243. And then shots per game, Man City with 21.13, Crystal Palace in third with 15.47. On the defensive side, shots against Man City with only 295 in first place. Crystal Palace with 438. And then we've scrolled to the top. Goals allowed, Man City 34 in second. Crystal Palace all the way down in 11th with 55. Not great. And then shutouts. Man City gets 16 and Crystal Palace get 8. But now kind of on the average mark for our Premier League teams, how did Derby County fare in the championship? Well, I think this is the third time we've seen them come in first place. 89 points, 97 goals. They did really well. Fixture-wise for Derby County, they do lose against Norwich 1-0 in the EFL Cup. They get all the way to Crystal Palace in the FA Cup, losing 2-3, so they got really far in that. But overall, in the end, they're knocked out in the quarters of the FA Cup, knocked out in the second round of the EFL Cup, champions of the championship. I'll take that any day of the week. And senior players look like they've got a fair amount in the green. So 31 goals for Brewster, 13 for Bobby Clark and Vyman apiece. Assists 14 for Vyman, Johnston with 12, and average rating Johnston gets a 7.29. Data Hub wise, defending 12 clean sheets, not bad. The fouls per game is pretty much at the tops. Attacking wise, through the roof. 2 flat non-penalty XG per game, 2.1 goals per game, 18.5 shots, 23.1 dribbles per game. They did really well on the attacking side. But now let's take a look at the tactic itself. We start out with a ball-playing goalkeeper in possession instructions, out of possession instructions. Don't worry about the out of possession role because, in fact, it is just a goalkeeper. So on the left is a fullback. In the instructions, might as well take a look at those. Those are the in possession instructions. Those are the out of possession instructions. And he stays as a fullback in the out of possession phase. A ball playing center back on the left, in possession instructions versus the out of possession instructions, does become a normal center back on the out. Again, probably the exact same on the right side, in possession instructions versus the out of possession instructions. Yep, he does become a center back right there on the out of possession phase. DMs look like they're staying put. You've got 2 DMs on both sides, and then in possession versus out of possession instructions. We'll go with this one as well. DM in possession, out of possession instructions, but is not a stopping center back. He stays as a DM. Again, these two screens are very weirdly intermingled, and it doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. But on the attacking side and inside forward on the left, in possession instructions versus out of possession instructions, becomes a winger on the out of possession phase. An attacking midfielder stays the same, has a couple of changes. In possession instructions versus out of possession instructions. And then, yeah, like I said, he becomes on the outside, out of possession and attacking midfielder. And then an inside forward on the right, in possession instructions versus out of possession. And he turns to a winger as well. And then up front, in possession, we have a center forward, out of possession instructions, and stays as center forward, out of possession. So there you go. It is a tiki-taka style. Mentality is attacking. Team instructions. I'm basically just going to show you the all instructions here. In possession right there and out of possession as well. So overall, how did this tactic work for our 3 teams? I mean, it's a mixed bag to really well. I mean, you've got a lot of trophies covered. Man City come in second in the Premier League, come in second in the Champions League, come in second in the EFL Cup, and win the FA Cup. Crystal Palace only come in 7th in the Premier League, but do really well in the Conference League. Derby County just trashed it. They got an amazing first place spot in the championship, and that's all you really need for them. So it's definitely one to take a look at. No question about it. Even with the small issues that it may have with the defending side, you're attacking through and through, and it looks phenomenal. So it worked here fairly well. I'm sure, as I usually say, if you take control of this, do your own training and transfers and things like that, you could definitely pick it up a bit. And if you play match by match and not do a holiday sim, yeah, you'll do a lot better on your save than you did here. But overall, definitely one to check out. So that's it for me, Savvy and FM, for the Football Manager blog channel, saying thank you as always for watching. Take care and enjoy.